Thursday, December 3rd, 2015, at our Florence campus, our graduate students in Renaissance art will present the results of their final research project in a public symposium entitled, "You Are What You Eat: Nourishing Body and Spirit in Early Modern Tuscany." Here they investigate the relationships between visual culture and early modern dietary practices. Here are our 4 graduate students describing their individual research projects.
My symposium paper will focus on a Last Supper painting made by Plautilla Nelli, who is the first woman in Florence to paint large-scale works. Nelli was not only an artist, but she was also a Dominican nun, and she created this painting to decorate her own convent's dining room. What's unusual about this Last Supper is the supper itself, that is, the food that Nelli depicted. In addition to foods commonly found in other Last Supper, such as bread, wine, and meat, Nelli also includes fresh lettuce and fava beans. Now, while those two might seem strange choices, we have to remember that food held a very specific value in society, and that each ingredient, each food, had a very specific meaning. My research brings together archival and primary sources, such as the convent's financial records, dietary treatises, as well as popular media, in order to understand how these foods were interpreted by the painting's original audience.
My symposium presentation focuses on Giorgio Vasari's largely understudied Last Supper, which was severely damaged during the Florentine flood of 1966 and still remains under restoration today. More specifically, I investigate Vasari's unusual inclusion of both red and white wine on the table, and how this detail might reflect the work's original audience of nuns in the Florentine convent of Le Murate. According to Renaissance dietary theories, the seemingly innocent choice between red and white wine had significant moral implications. While red wine was believed to heat the body and incite lust, I have found that white wine instead was believed to decrease sexual appetite and promote notions of chastity. My presentation therefore illuminates which color of wine was theoretically most appropriate for the nuns to choose, and the moralizing messages this would have communicated within the convent of Le Murate.
My paper focuses on a relic of the Virgin's breast milk that was preserved in a town called Montevarchi, located southeast of Florence. And within this town, there are also 4 images depicting the Virgin Mary nursing baby Jesus, which are sprinkled throughout the town at strategic or heavily trafficked areas such as a city gate, for example. I became interested in the relationship between the relic and the images, and what I found is that both worked together to serve as an anchor for Montevarchi's community, which manifested through ritual practices and others. And I also found that the artworks share a lot of formal similarities, although they were created centuries apart, which led me to conclude that the town intentionally designed a recognizable and distinctive image of the nursing virgin that would have been familiar to the town's residents and pilgrims who were visiting.
My work focuses on a rock crystal wine fountain commissioned by Grand Duke Ferdinando de' Medici for his wedding banquet in 1589. This vessel was a luxurious display piece, as well as a theatrical wine-diluting device during the feast. Few people in the Renaissance drank wine straight, and so this fountain functioned in a way that the water flowed from the topmost container into the main vessel that contained wine. It's in the shape of a ship supporting a maritime lantern at the back, also called a finale, which looks like a fortified defense tower as well. So there's this mixture of naval imagery and fortress architecture that seems to underscore Ferdinando's image as a cardinal turned military man and grand master of the Knights of Santo Stefano. So ultimately, my paper demonstrates how banqueting objects like the table fountain had multiple functions and meanings.